So I think it's every software developer's like secret dream that they make a video game that makes a bunch of money and has a bunch of users playing it. And so today that's actually exactly what we're going to look at. We're going to look at a very simple browser-based game that makes $4,000 a month. Now, per usual in these software breakdown videos, we're going to look at how it's made, right? What is it built with? What kind of technology is it using? How is it marketed? How is it getting new users coming in and playing the game? How is it monetized? How is it actually making money? And then we want to finally brainstorm some new ideas to generate potentially a new version of this game that we ourselves could make and also potentially make a good bit of money on as well. So the name of this game is Actoral, which is actually a copy or take on the game Wordle. So it's a little derivative of Wordle, but it's using actors instead of just a random word. So we get 8 guesses and we can guess the actor based on the movies that they were in and how old they are. So this is, again, very simple application. It's made using Next.js, which is built on top of React, and uses an IMDb movie set, because you can see the IMDb scores here. All of which you can get for free. If you just search for like IMDb dataset, there's a dataset you can download and use, and then you can make basically an exact clone of Actoral. So honestly, as far as the build goes and how it's actually made, there's not much more to say. It's an incredibly simple application that basically just takes some information about an actor and then puts all of the movies that they've been in, the genres of those movies, the scores of those movies on IMDb, and then you get to guess, and every guess you get an extra hint. So for example, if I guess Adam Sandler as this actor, it'll say no, because I think this is saying that the actor is younger than 56 or maybe older than 56, but it basically says that that actor's outside of the age range. So the actor we're looking for is actually over the age of 56. Now, looking a little deeper into this, the game is entirely run on the local storage in the browser. So, I guessed Adam Sandler, but that value is not stored on a server somewhere. It's actually stored here in the browser. So if I go to application and local storage, I can see there's an object in here that has guesses. And you can see my guess of Adam Sandler right here shows the birthday and says that this is not a match. And so this is how it's keeping track of all the guesses that you make. So if I were to erase my local storage here, I were to clear all, you'd see Adam Sandler here, but if I refresh the page, it's all gone. So I can like start the game over effectively over and over and over again. This is not stored on a server, which of course is a lot cheaper to operate if we're storing it in local storage. Now this makes it easier for a user to play because you don't need to create an account because you're not storing any information on any kind of server. This allows users to very quickly just come and play the game and then share their results. And so you have much less friction when it comes to actually playing the game. And you always want to have less friction if you can. Most SaaSes require that you create an account before you can actually even use the tool. And so I'm seeing kind of a trend away from that, where a lot of SaaSes, in particular games like this, don't make you create an account at all. They let you use the tool or play the game before you ever have to sign up. So if you're finding this video interesting at this point, just keep in mind I do have an entire playlist of all sorts of different SaaS ideas where I go in and I break them all down in the same way I'm doing in this video. So you can check that playlist out if you want to just binge watch all of those, get some really good ideas for a potential SaaS that you could start. So with that being said, let's continue on with the video. So we can keep guessing. We've got 8 guesses total. And then if we guess it right, we get to feel good about ourselves and share it on social media. And sharing it on social media is actually the marketing strategy that games like this employ. It's very, very similar to the way that Wordle grew. Basically, you had a couple core players that would then share their results on Twitter, and then other people would be like, oh, that sounds fun. They would go play the game. Then they would go share it with 5 friends, and then those people would say, and it would just keep going and going and going. And so what happened with Actoral particularly is the founder shared it on Reddit, and it didn't really get much of a response. There was like a few people that were like, oh, seems cool, I guess. And then months went by. and nothing happened. No one was really using it, maybe a few users every day or whatever. And then all of a sudden it got published on a relatively large British news, like super obscure news site. And then after that, it had like hundreds of daily users. Well, okay, that's still not a ton, but then those hundreds of daily users, it started getting into that social virality factor. And so this is just called viral marketing. And it sounds like the founder didn't mean to do it on purpose. It sounded like that's kind of just what happens whenever you build something that has that viral factor in it, where you have the shareability, you have a game that is supposed to be played with other people where you can compare scores. That's always going to have that social viral factor. And this is the same way that Dropbox grew their company so big, as you would share a file with somebody. Well, guess what? They have to go to Dropbox to download the file. And now that introduces them to the tool, and then they can use it to share more files, and it spreads like wildfire. And so that's exactly what happened here. Now Actoral has tens of thousands, if not 100,000 or more daily active users using it and sharing their results on social media, and the site is now making $4,000 per month. But how exactly is it making money? Because it looks like pretty much just a free application. Now, you wouldn't know it on my screen, but if I go to a new user, you can see that it's monetized with ads, and that's actually it. It's just monetized with exotic ads. So this is an ad network that you can sign up for. You don't even have to have a bunch of page views to get it. But this is how the entire site is monetized. There is no paid version of it or anything like that. It's just monetized with top bar, sidebar, and then a bottom bar ad. And it's making $4,000 a month. So you can imagine there's a lot of traffic that goes to this site, and your imagination would be correct. This site does get a good bit of traffic, all very likely from social, because again, the virality factor, everyone is sharing their results with their friends and family and getting more people to come and play because they're having a good time. And speaking of having a good time, how can we have a good time? By taking this idea and deriving another idea from it, because in reality, Actoral is a derivation of Wordle. And so there's a lot of different clones of Wordle that have popped up over the past year that are basically different takes and different themes of the same game. So as you can see, this actual founder here, he also looks like he started Moviedle and Actoral.tv. So this is probably TV actors, and this is, you guess the movie names. So instead of guessing the actor, you guess the movie, and instead of movie actors, you guess the TV actors. So there are all sorts of different variations that we could take on this game. We could do something like sports people, like famous football people, famous soccer players. If you're in the US, soccer, football, kind of the same thing. If we could do baseball, we could do hockey and just target it at Canadians. There's all sorts of different directions that we could take it. Now, the key with this is not to go too niche, because you want the audience to be very, very broad. You obviously want to go very viral, very large with this. So you shouldn't do like something like my favorite tech founders, and you have to pick Mark Zuckerberg or Elon Musk, because that I think would be maybe too niche, although you could certainly try it. Maybe it would gain some popularity. But ultimately, I would go pretty broad, that could appeal to a lot of different people, because the more people it appeals to, the more the social virality can take effect and really, grow the game to a very large size. So of course, something that is very important in the social virality is having the ability to share your results on social media very easily. So when you play all the way through, and obviously I didn't get it because I suck at this kind of game, but I have the ability to immediately share to Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I can copy this, I can text it to my friends, and then I've got a streak, right? And streaks are a big deal because people like to keep streaks going. So you tell them, oh, hey, you've been playing for 5 days and you've gotten 5 in a row. So keep going. And that keeps people coming back every day to play. And that's why there's the virality factor, is because you don't have to spend a ton of time playing this game. You can literally just spend 5-10 minutes a day, but you're playing every single day and you're coming back every day. And it makes it part of the player's daily habits to actually come and play this game and then share their results with their friends. So ultimately, that is like the epitome of what you want when it comes to social virality, is have people coming back every single day, but not asking too much of their time, right? So like a game like World of Warcraft, you could play every single day, but you'd be asking players to spend, hours and hours and hours every day. And most people don't have the time to do that, although there certainly are people that do spend that much time playing World of Warcraft. But this is something that every user can spend a few minutes playing every day, have a good time, and share the results with their friends. So I hope you enjoyed the breakdown of this very simple game. Hopefully you got some ideas. Hey, I could do this for some other theme. And maybe you can go start your own version of this game, and then you can share it with some of your friends, and then maybe their friends will share it, and you get into that social virality factor. And maybe you'll find a better way to monetize it when just with ads, because ads are kind of the lowest form of monetization. But either way, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.